side of finding that new head coach, this is the most important thing for the Seahawks in 2024. Any guesses as to what this is?
Finding a scout that finds diamonds in the rough.
Okay. You're on the right track, Curtis.
Winning football game.
Okay, I like it. Matt.
Curtis stole mine.
Okay. Matt, I believe in you.
Points.
Matt, I know you got another one.
Scoring points.
Scoring points. Good answer. The answer
Is it the number one answer?
is not the number one answer. The answer that we've all secretly already settled on is player development. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get back to that interview that Brock and Salk had with Matt Miller because it's very insightful when it comes to where the Seahawks need to go from here. Matt Miller spent a good portion of that interview bump basically being like, look, there's a huge drop-off after like middle of the first round with quarterback. And if you don't get one of those guys early, don't even bother. Just don't even bother getting a quarterback in this class, which makes Seattle's decision at pick number 16 very interesting, especially because they don't have a second rounder. So quarterback in the first round or bust, right? Or don't get one at all is kind of Seattle's option there. Now, that's what we spent a lot of time discussing earlier. But what we're getting to now is what still needs to happen from the classes that Seattle has drafted in more recent years. And Bump, both you and I agree those classes have been really solid.
Yeah, they've been pretty good, man. You got two potential defensive rookie of the years out of the last two draft class. You got two starters on defense. You got a starter on offense. 3 starters on offense. You count 4 starters on offense.
Yeah.
2 tackles, receiver, running back. You had a Pro Bowl type of player on special teams before he got hurt in Jared Reed, who was leading the league in tackles before he went down. You've done a good job. So don't let the results of the way the defense is played or the way the offense didn't come through at times distract you from the real thing is that they've done a decent job drafting. Now it's about X's and O's, putting guys in positions, getting them to buy into what you're doing, but you tip your cap to these guys.
Here's a bit of what Matt Miller had to say about that 2023 draft class.
I still like the class. I think it's, you have the question mark of, do these guys, especially Derek Hall, Witherspoon and JSN are going to fit no matter what you're doing. With Derek Hall, it's okay. You draft this guy who's a, D end at Auburn. Now he's kind of playing as an outside pass rusher. You just don't want to see a whole lot of scheme changes for a guy early in their career. I think that's where players can get lost a little bit. I still like Zach Charbonnet. I still like Mike Morris as a developmental guy. I still like Oluwatimi as I think it wouldn't be surprised if he's the starting center next year, in fact. So it was a good draft class.
There's a lot to like from this draft class, but it only really works if guys continue to develop. I mean, Kyle Lewis was an AL Rookie of the Year, great for the Mariners. That's really awesome. Is he with you now? No.
Nah.
Right? It only really counts in terms of getting you somewhere. Like, amazing achievement individually for a player. It only counts in terms of getting you somewhere if that player continues to develop. And one thing Seattle didn't get a ton of this year, who knows why, a lot of reasons, was continued development from 2022.
Yeah, that was rough. You had Reek Woolen, who entered the season nursing a knee injury or had minor surgery, right?
Yeah, little cleanup.
You got Derek Hall is 23, didn't see much out of him. Ken Walker was banged up this year. Didn't see much out of him. Saw some at him. Actually, not.
Same with Abe Lucas and Charles Cross.
Abe Lucas, Charles Cross. So I think the main thing that happened is that guys got banged up. I mean, but that's football. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to get hurt. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And unfortunately, all these guys got hurt at the same time. So I'm going to call last year just a wash. All right. Things didn't work out. Guys were banged up. In the third year, you need to see improvement. You need to see Reek Woolen become a better tackler. You did get improvement from Boye Mafe, though.
You did.
You need Charles Cross to win his one-on-one. So, same thing with Abe Lucas. You need to see some things. Now, will it be the jump that we would all like? We would love for these dudes to be Pro Bowlers, but Big Ray mentioned it the other day when he was on. He goes, I don't need 5 Pro Bowlers in the offensive line. I need a guy that takes the charge and then everybody else. But then also we still get to see other guys get shots. You talk about Oluwatimi. We didn't see much out of him. He did play because everybody on that line was banged up. But now if he is a starter, how does he improve? Anthony Bradford was up and down. So you need to see improvement. A lot of the improvement was stalled because of injury. So I think whoever comes in, he's going to look at those guys and say, fresh eyes too, man. That's always, it could be good sometimes because you're looking at maybe the technique of a Reek Willen and say, I tweak this. Maybe he's saying it in a way that just clicks with Reek and he figures out some things. Maybe you look at a Derek Hall and say, you know what, actually, I would use him a bit differently. Let's put him in a different type of situation, and he grows right there. So, yes, so sad to see Pete Carroll go, Clinton, all those dudes, man. We love those dudes. They were great. But these fresh eyes might bring something else out of these guys. And another thing, too, is, man, I remember when Holmgren stepped down, we all knew he was going to step down, right? And then Jim Mora comes in. And with Holmgren, I was kind of like the, we'll see if he gets in the game type of guy. When Mora came in, mentally I'm thinking, I got a clean slate. I got a fresh start. Like he doesn't view me the same way. He might have been here last year, but now he's in charge. I can change the way I'm viewed in this organization. There's a lot of guys on that roster thinking the same thing.
That's a really good point. I didn't consider the player perspective.